Long before the nations, before the maps, before the borders carved the land of Mexico, there existed a people, ancient, proud, and deeply rooted in the soil of the Americas. Before the word Mexico existed, this land already had names. To many, it was called Tenochtitlan, Anahuac, to some the land of the sun. But today, one question lingers in the air. Are Mexicans Native Americans? To answer that, we must travel back, far back, to where it all began. Long before the world heard the word Mexico, a great story was unfolding across the land we now call Mesoamerica. The Olmecs, the mysterious stone carvers of ancient Veracruz and Tabasco, were the first to build colossal heads, symbols of power and legacy. They laid the foundations not just of cities, but of an entire civilization's soul. Then came the Maya, masters of astronomy, mathematics, and time itself. Their temples rose toward the heavens, their calendars mapped the stars, and their language, still spoken today, whispered the secrets of centuries. Further north, the Zapotecs thrived in the valleys of Oaxaca, creating written scripts long before the Spanish ever set sail. And at the heart of it all, in the Valley of Mexico, rose the mighty Mexica, the people we now call the Aztecs. Their capital, Tenochtitlan, sparkled atop the lake, a city of causeways and temples, so magnificent that when the Spanish arrived, they called it a dream, a city built by gods. Then, the ships came. In 1519, Hernan Cortes landed on the shores of Veracruz. With him came steel, horses, gunpowder, and a hunger for an empire. At first, the indigenous people believed the strangers might be divine. But soon, war followed. Empires crumbled. Cities burned. The Aztec emperor Moctezuma was taken captive in his own palace. Tenochtitlan fell, not only to Spanish weapons, but to the invisible killer that came with them, disease. What followed was centuries of conquest and colonization. Indigenous temples were torn down to build cathedrals. Ancient languages were silenced by Spanish tongues. And yet, the spirit of the first Americans refused to die. Out of that chaos, something new began. A merging of worlds, a fusion of bloodlines. The Spanish and the indigenous peoples intertwined through conflict, through survival, through love. And from that mixture came the mestizo. The mestizo wasn't just a new race. It was a new identity, a symbol of two worlds that refused to vanish. But even as Spanish rule spread, indigenous roots remained. In every market, every meal, every rhythm of daily life, the heartbeat of the ancestors continued to echo. Modern science reveals what history already knew. DNA studies show that nearly 80% of Mexicans today carry significant Native American ancestry. In fact, most maternal lines, those passed down from mother to child, lead directly to the indigenous women of ancient America. The genetic markers link modern Mexicans to the same people who built pyramids, mapped the stars, and shaped the first great American civilizations. So when someone asks, are Mexicans Native Americans? The answer runs deeper than biology. It's not just in the blood, it's in the land, it's in the language, it's in the soul. Today, over 25 million Mexicans identify as indigenous. 68 national languages are still spoken, each one a living thread to the past. From the Maya in the Yucatan to the Nahua in central Mexico to the Tarahumara runners of the north, the legacy of the first Americans thrives. And even for those who don't speak an indigenous language, the culture endures, in food, in music, in celebration. The maize that forms every tortilla, the colors in every festival, the stories told around every fire, they are the gifts of the ancestors. Even the words the world uses every day, chocolate, tomato, coyote, come from Nahuatl, the ancient language of the Aztecs. Mexico doesn't just remember its indigenous roots, it lives them. So are Mexicans Native Americans? Yes, but it's more than that. It's a story of survival, of loss and rebirth, of memory and identity. Because Mexico was never simply made, it was reborn. Reborn from the ashes of empires, from the mingling of worlds, and from the endurance of its first people. Today, when you look into the eyes of Mexico, you see the reflection of the first Americans, still alive, still proud, still here. History isn't something we leave behind. It's something we carry within us, because to be Mexican is to be a child of the first Americans.